and welcome to my DeviantArt. I am Dustin Miller, PolyInnovator. On DeviantArt, I'm known as Zemo71. It's an interesting story behind that username, actually. But since I started developing my personal brand as PolyInnovator, I didn't want to get rid of the old name just yet. I wasn't determined on just axing that old name, and that's what people know me by on this platform. So I decided to keep it and just add PolyInnovator on there just as an additional name. What I do on here is spriting for the most part. I also do world maps, and every once in a while I might do something creative. When Windows 8 and 8.1 came out, modifying your home screen, for example, was a unique experience. And so I shared what mine looked like, which was unique and interesting. But for the most part, the two things I'll share are maps and sprites. The projects I've been working on, which I've talked about in my journals for years now, but I haven't uploaded, I'm a perfectionist, I want to make sure they're finished, are my national Pokemon decks, such as like a Fakemon as well, which means, for those who are unaware, it just means that I'm collecting sprites from all the different generations and putting them into a national dex. I broke it up by region, so to speak, and for those who are interested in that, here's the interesting part. I moved all the evolutions and pre-evolutions to their original family lines region. So for example, Rhyperior, which is a 4th generation Pokemon, is now in the 1st generation dex because it's the Rhydon evolution. And that goes for all of them. Same for Steelix from 2nd generation, now in the 1st one. That's not really changing anything particularly, just makes it easier to have everything organized, and I think it looks better that way. And it's my deck, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm also putting my own Fakemon decks into this series that I'm doing. So I'm going to have the Agubi and Agu Isles, I guess you could say, Meghentos, I can't even say my own names that I made. Those regions that I created, I'm going to have those decks first, and then I'm going to have the Kanto, Johto, and so forth. I'm even working all the way up to Galar as well. That also goes into the Pokemon World Map. One of the things I've been known most for are these world maps. The first one I had made was simply just a conglomeration of just all the different ones that I saw online. I was like, oh, these look cool. And when I made it, it seemed really cool, and everyone knew I thought it was too, but I realized that I learned a lot since then. I almost want to go back and redo it in a way, just because it was one of those things where I didn't put that much detail into it. But it gave me an idea of like putting stuff together and understanding the dynamics of the shading, and it gave me a good trial experience. And then I started making my own. For some reason, I can't find the World Map 2.0 anywhere. I think when I made my 3.0, I just deleted it, which sucks because I wish I kept it. And then on top of that, the 3.0 is what's out right now, but I have been working on it so much since then that it's almost like, at this point, archaic. One of the biggest issues I found was when I switched from Paint to Paint.net, I could do global colors, but then the colors got mixed up at one point, and so now two palettes that were normally different are now acting like the same one, and so it's really hard to differentiate that when I'm trying to recreate all the colors, and I have to go through every single palette, the mountains, the water, the grass, even the paths, but I think I finished the paths, to recolor it to a new style. So that's why I haven't uploaded that anytime soon. The other projects, for such as Zelda, which has been really interesting, and I worked on the Zelda world map with Lyconium at one point, but I realized I didn't really quite like it as much. The design was a little bit more spaced out than I wanted. I wanted it to be more condensed. And so I looked at the Breath of the Wild map. I was like, oh, this is really boring with a grid, like that kind of map right there, where it's just brown. It's boring. So I decided to put colors from like 4 Swords of Adventures and Minish Cap and all the really vibrant colors that you get from all these other maps into the region. And also add in a few different areas from other games. It's already looking really cool, but I just haven't finished it yet. And so I've been working on that quite a bit and trying to see what I can do with it. And then for the Zelda sprites, I'm not going to get to anytime soon, but they're really cool. I made my own unique style, my own unique size ratio, and just various different races as well, such as Zora and even like Gerudo. And so that's really cool. And then finally the Harvest Moon area, which I've been playing Harvest Moon lately, so I might actually go back and make some of those sprites. Essentially what I was doing is revamping more so than making. I think I tried making my own character, but I had more fun just revamping the old ones with new colors. And that seems to be my history, is revamping colors. That's what I'm doing with Pokemon sprites, for Pete's sake. And so I was actually looking at the Popiri one that I had done, and that's the latest Harvest Moon one I had released. And I realized that I didn't touch any of the talking heads. I only touched the sprites, the walking sprites in the overworld, and they look really good. I did a good job, but I don't think that's enough. I think I should go back and change some of the colors to all of them. And on top of that, I didn't do all the characters, and I want to. So that's what I'm going to end up doing at some point, and I've been focusing on PolyInnovator, which you're actually going to see this video on the PolyInnovator YouTube channel. This is just an update on my graphics design and overall hobbies, so to speak, and I wanted DeviantArt to see me for the first time in the video, and so cheers. Thank you. Bye-bye.